layout from this series. So I basically am using the stamps to create areas for embellishments. So I'm using image stamps with images, and you'll see how that goes. But I have two photos here. One is landscape and one is portrait. So my plan is I'm going to take that paper, which is an Amy Tan paper from Better Together, and I'm going to, so you see how it's laid out on the photo mat right now, and that extra spot there is going to be used for journaling. And I do have quite a bit to journal about this story. So, and this layout is another monochromatic layout, and it is going to be blue. And so what I did was I took the white cardstock and I just cut off a little bit and taped it onto a black sheet of 12 by 12. And here's where I'm going to start. This is where I determined where I want the stamps to go. You probably saw me a minute or so ago just kind of using my pencil to mark the spots. And so these are the stamps that I'm starting with. And I believe most of these stamps are, well, the grid stamp is actually from a Scraptastic kit. And then I use a couple of these Amy Tan, some of these older stamps from Amy Tan. And I think it was like a sketch, I don't know if it's sketchbook, I think, or sketchbook draft, I think it said on the packaging. And so I'm just trying to figure out how it's going to look when I layer the pictures over. I want to make sure that the stamping's a little spread out. And so that's what I'm doing here. And I did use two different colors of ink. I'm not exactly sure what they are, but just a lighter ink, a lighter, like kind of a medium blue, and then a navy blue. So I think here I'm trying to see if there's any other stamps that I want to use in these clusters, but I'm pretty sure I decided not to use anything else. And then to have another space, kind of like a shelf or whatever for the rest of the embellishments to sit on, I'm going to use this gray washi tape. And it just says awesome in white, and it's just kind of a nice gray color. And I put one at the top and one at the bottom in both clusters. This is really kind of a funny story because my niece and I were coming back from a really big long crop weekend, and our vehicle was jam-packed full of stuff between our sleeping stuff, our scrap stuff, and of course we both had things. And her scrap bag had broke on her way to the scrapping place, and so we decided on our way home that we were going to stop and buy a new bag. And of course we got one of the really big craft totes, and there was no way it was going to fit in my car. Not because I don't drive a big vehicle, but just because the truck was literally full. So she had to put all of that on her lap while we drove home. It was a short drive, but still, it was kind of funny. Okay, so you saw me add the black stripe acetate pieces, and I really love that stuff. It's just clear acetate with black stripes on it, and it's a We Are Memory Keepers sheet, and I'm not even sure where I got it from. I've had it, I don't know if I got it from a Felicity Jane kit or if I've had it a long time. I'm not even sure, but I really, really like it, and I do use it a couple times in this series. So that is I just used a piece of like grid paper to create the journaling, and I just kind of had to measure it out to make sure that it fit in that spot. And then I had to write really small to fit that story on there, but I made it work. And then I'm going to use these foam thickers that say Better Together. And I love that because I just feel like when my niece and I are together, we have so much fun, and it's just, we always laugh and joke and do silly things. So I like that title. I do play around quite a bit with the title. I really wanted to layer the Better on top of the Together because I felt like it just really nested in there well. I tried to do it where I just layered it along the edge of the right side there, but, or even I think I might have even tried it on the left side, but I just didn't like it as well as having it just how I ended up with it, the better on top of it together. So that's where the title ends up going. And I do use that, one of the hearts from that thicker sheet. Oh, I guess I used two of them, one that's a solid up top. And then it looks like I'm going to grab some enamel dots. I know there's more embellishments that I add to this. Usually the enamel dots are like the last thing, but there's more that I add. And I just went ahead and grabbed like a few different colors of blue that match well with the layout. So that's a navy blue. And then there's a couple other blues that just have that kind of medium blue shade. And I'm just adding stuff to those the stamp clusters. So that's really where I wanted to base my stamping, was wherever I wanted to put the majority of the embellishments. And then this is like 3 sheets of little washi stickers. And I believe those are from Pink Fresh Studio. Yes, they're from Felicity Pink Fresh Studio. And I love this blue. It's like almost like a gray blue, but it's more blue. And it just has kind of a washed out watercolory look. And it takes me a while to get it in here, but in the end I'm glad that I got it in there. It looks really good. And then where I put it, of course, there's kind of that gap now between the washi tape and the cluster up there. And so I do find some things to put there to cover that up. And that is one of the little clear stickers. And it says, what does it say? Live life in full bloom. And then I put one down at the bottom that says happy little moments. This layout, this is my favorite layout out of all 6 that I did, and I have one more layout left to share with stamping on it, and I will plan on sharing that hopefully next week. And after that I will come up with a new series, and this one I think was pretty successful, so I might try to do a second series in the stamping. So again, I hope you're enjoying it. Thanks for watching, and I will catch you next time.